just seen, you will realise that this is about pancakes. Pancakes are often seen as difficult, especially the French ones called crêpes, which are thin and tricky to make. By contrast, the ones I'm going to show you today are thick and quick. They come from a book I wrote some while ago called Look It, Cook It, Kitchen Games for Curious Children. And these words, kitchen games, are what inspired the name of this channel. The idea of the book was to do things that made children excited about food through quizzes and games and experiments. This is not an experiment. It's one that's been done many times before. This is a kind of English or American pancake, but they are so easy, and the best thing is at the end of it, you will find that you have a great meal on the table, and in this time of lockdown, you will also have entertained the children for a little while. So here it is. Now here's what we need. We need 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, a tablespoon of sugar, an egg, and 1 cup of milk. That can't be easier. Oh, also the main thing, the blueberries. Now we're going to get started, and the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sift the flour because it actually makes it smoother and nicer. And you can see as I'm shaking it in that it's like a sort of snow that's coming down, and any lumps that get left will be in the strainer. So that's what we're doing first. Then we're going to add the baking powder, and this is what's going to make them rise just a little bit. So stir that in, and now a sugar. The sugar I'm using is vanilla sugar, and I love it because it has bits of vanilla pods in it, and I wish you could smell it, but you can't, and it gives it a very nice flavour. So 1 tablespoon of sugar. You can use ordinary sugar. Don't worry if you don't have what I'm exactly showing you. Now, to bind this pancake mixture together, we need an egg. Pop it in the middle and start to mix it with the flour. Now add a little bit of milk, a cup of milk, but don't add it all at once. And the reason is because you want to make this mixture very smooth. And by doing it a little at a time, you will avoid getting lumps. Now it's ready to be fried. Some mixtures say that you have to leave pancake before you fry it, but this one you don't. It's ready to go now. So that's what we're going to do next. I'm starting by putting a bit of oil into a griddle pan. Now a griddle pan's not much different from an ordinary frying pan, except that it's shallower and it's solid on the bottom. Now, it's important not to put too much oil in, and I think actually there is quite a lot of oil in this pan, so I'm going to spoon a little bit of it off so that it doesn't make the pancakes drown. And it's important to do this because if you have too much oil, then they are greasy and you don't want that. Now, when the oil is starting to get hot, that's the moment to put them in. Now, I'm going to take a larger spoon, and you can hear it beginning to sizzle, and that's important. So you just take spoonfuls of the mixture and you drop them into the pan. I'm just going to do 4 to start with. They're individual ones, as you can see, and there they are. can see that they're starting to form small bubbles on the top. This is showing that they are beginning to get cooked. Don't worry if they stick together, they don't have to be perfect rounds. When the pancakes have got bubbles all over them, now they are almost ready, and you can put onto them the blueberries. Now you can also just leave these plain, and you don't need to add any fruit. They are delicious just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn over the one that's got a lot of bubbles on it, and I'm going to turn it over to the other side, and this one. And then I'm going to start adding the blueberries to the other two. Here they are. I've just done a very few, and you can see that there's a lot more batter left, and it's going to make about 16 small pancakes all together. What I've done is I've put them onto a paper towel just to drain if there is any surplus oil, and then I've prepared a tin with baking paper on it. And this is so that you can keep the pancakes warm. Have an oven on very low when you're starting to do this, and then if you want to serve them straight away, you pop them onto this baking tray and keep them warm in the oven. You can also, of course, heat these in a microwave, but if you've got a lot of them, it's quite a good thing to do on a large tray. Here, as you saw before, are the finished pancakes. Now they just need two things. First of all, they need butter. And I put a little knob of butter on, and it's melting all over it. And this is important. No cutting calories here. You've got to make it the real thing. So then the other thing you need to add is the sweetness, because it's got very little sugar in this recipe. And I'm using maple syrup. Now there's two kinds of maple syrup. There's this one, which is a wonderful Canadian maple syrup, which is light coloured. And then there's another Canadian one, which you can buy in many supermarkets here, which is dark. And this is the one I'm going to be using now. So you just open the bottle, which is often a bit sticky because of the syrup, and you just drizzle it over. I'm going to turn it round so that it makes it easier to do this. Just drizzle it gently over the pancakes. You can have as much or as little as you like. And if you don't have maple syrup, don't worry. You can use golden syrup. Now I'm going to taste them, because, as I told you, this makes about 16 pancakes. If you are just 2 of you at home, that means you can have 8 each. Now, if you have more people in your family, you're going to have to be a bit generous and share them. But here I am going to show you. I'm cutting a couple of pieces off here, and I'm going to have some breakfast. Now here it is, the blueberry pancake dipped in the maple syrup. It is, I won't talk with my mouth full. It is totally delicious. I really hope you like this. If you do like the idea, you might want to subscribe to my channel. And if you press the button, what that'll do is that will tell you when I'm making new videos. Otherwise, if you want to, just tell your friends. But most of all, I really hope you try it, because it's something quick and fun and good to eat. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.